ミスターベースボールとミスターボクシングの対面が実現した。
マイクさん、今日はですね、いろいろもう担当直入にいろいろと話を伺わせていただきたいんですが、なぜねボクシングやり始めたんですか？
You know, when I'm over in Japan, people ask me, do I have a personal data locker? And before, when I knock a person out, I basically steal the data.
そうですか。まあそれに関連あるんですが、じゃあそのボクサーという職業をですね、どう思ってるんでしょ
う？ There's only been one person knock me out, and that's Buster Douglas.
なるほどね。まあこうやって日本に初めて来られて、日本のマスコミの皆さんがですね、大変もう過熱でフィーバーしてるんですが、そのフィーバーぶりをどうお感じになってます？
You know, one thing I love about Japan is that you guys really respect the whole idea of personal data and protecting that data. Over in America, man, we not even like that. When I'm out in Catskill, New York, you know, people be trying to steal my data.
試合が決まってですね、いざリングに上がったその瞬間っていうのは、その精神的な状態っていうものはどうでしょうね。言葉で説明できないかもわかりませんがね。
Look, man, when I'm in the ring, I basically scientifically and metamorphically snipe people from my left hook to my right jab. And basically it's like this, you know, I use my photosynthesis with my detailed vocabulary. I want people to understand that having a personal data lock is what's that JASMY to the moon. And if you don't know, now you know.
So we're going to start things off with this post from Hara. Some of you guys have seen it. Some of you guys have been watching Rob, Crypto Future 99. Some other content creators have been talking about this. And it is this statement from Hara in regards to Optima. No, not Optima Insurance. I'm going to go ahead and full screen this for a moment. He mentions that Optima Solution published an article about JASMY's acquisition of ISMS. If you weren't aware, ISMS is Information Security Management System. It's a framework for managing the security of an organization's information assets. Think about that for a second, guys. We talk about digital assets all day. We talk about real world assets all day. We pay attention to what some of the big name people like Larry Fink and BlackRock talk about when it comes to these assets. But the whole idea that JASMY will apply risk management processes to maintain the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information and to provide confidence that risks are properly managed is a very, very good thing. It is a win, in my opinion, for the bigger picture of what's going on, basically. So I'm going to show you this real quick on the screen. Here's the picture. Here's this gentleman who is next to Hagawara-san of JASMY. And the bottom line is JASMY met the criteria to be officially, and we talked about this before, that JASMY can become an ISO certified company. They just need to apply, you know, and I posted that a while back. It's nice to see this come to fruition. So maybe you guys feel I'm late to the party, but he just posted in regards to the ISMS. So it's a little bit different, guys. And of course, we also know that Bajit is part of the mix. But to see this and how they spoke to this developer, Hagawara, and managing director Yoshihiro Tanaka, this is a big deal. And I'm going to share why this is a big deal. So again, back to the whole thing from Hara about how this will apply risk management processes to the, you know, maintain confidentiality, so on and so forth. So where I'm going to have Han come into the mix is this. I know this for a fact, that you are a business owner, and I saw a quick little video. It was I think one of your friends. She was at your coffee shop, and then she was interviewing somebody who was like a cowboy or something like that, and they were having. Yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about. And then they're having.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so you know, I don't have that handy. I apologize, but the cool thing is, I know for a fact that you can appreciate the due diligence of just having things in place for making life a little bit more easier in regards to respecting client confidentiality, or, you know, maybe you have customers that use an app that come to your to your business. I mean, heck, I would hope so. I mean, in that regard, they're doing whatever on their laptop, they're on their phones, they're just enjoying coffee at your establishment. But it's protecting all this. And you as a business owner, it's like sometimes people don't realize that, they hear these terms about standards and so on, but again, it's privacy. So have you yourself had any circumstances where, I guess you could say, coffee shop? I mean, coffee shops, basically speaking, are what, like net cafes. So you do understand privacy, you know what I mean? And here you are drinking out of a coffee cup. So there you go. Did you see this? Go ahead.
Yeah. So privacy is the upcoming trend of IT, right? Of technology. And, if we are only talking about privacy and security, well, we all know that is super important. How many crypto exchanges has been hacked out there? And whether it is a organized hack, which I sometimes believe in, one of those, conspiracy theory things, or if it's a true hack where they actually lose a lot of money. It is very important. And for me to see that JASMY is paying attention to what is the hottest stuff out there and constantly working on what they feel that is going to fuel the future. Because as we embark into not only technology by itself, but blockchain technology, it is super important for a crypto project like JASMY to pay attention to this stuff. Max, you don't know, but beside a coffee shop, I've been in IT for about 17 years. And my background is backup and recovered and disaster recovery. So back in the day, when I was first started, you don't hear anything about security officers, a whole big branch. And by the time I stopped working in IT, that was its own department. That was something that was very important. That was literally a whole, the degree by itself. So yeah, I mean, we are investing in a project that truly are making that space better. So therefore, the project is going to be going where we all know it's going to go.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it as well. I mean, and I didn't realize your IT background. Awesome. Something I do part-time throughout the week is basically remote IT work. But, let's face it. I mean, privacy is right up there when it comes to JASMY. And the other thing I wanted to get into is, some people, of course, will criticize the whole notion that, they'll say things like, well, JASMY's really not doing that well. Look where it was all the time. Hey, how about this? Who doesn't know about Forbes? Okay, Forbes is a huge, publication. So Hara also retweeted this, and I thought I'd share it with you guys. Got to full screen this for a second. So it talks about this, about, it says meme coins outperformed Bitcoin in 2024. First half 600, billion crypto rally. But the nice thing is you saw, like, for example, JASMY was part of this mix. And, the wonderful thing I love about JASMY is it's not a meme token. It may feel like we have a community that has that meme token feel, if you will. But the great thing is, we are not a meme token, and we have a lot of utility is the bottom line. So to see that, they posted this, and I should say Hara wanted to put some emphasis on this. So here it is, 10 best performing cryptos by market cap, based after, the $1 billion market cap. Some of you guys hold some of these, I mean, I'm into a few meme coins myself. I mean, Byte, Shiba Inu, and so on, Doge. But my thing is this: when you see that JASMY coin up 343%, market cap 1.4 billion. I mean, heck, I've even seen it higher than this. I mean, I remember seeing JASMY at all-time highs for market cap, and basically about 4.4 cents before the market tanked. So it's nice to see that, you know, when we talk about zooming out, in this regard, we should zoom in, but for the year, okay? I'm going to take you to this for a second, you guys. I want you guys to understand a little bit more about this. So we have this statement about ISO 27001 and this thing called ISMS certification. Now, if this is something that flew past your head, it's even posted, as you see right here, from the JASMY.co.jp site, and boom, IEC 27001. And here's what's important about it. The development, maintenance, and operation of platforms for the development of IT services utilizing blockchain tech, development and maintenance and operation of a solution for services utilizing IoT device information, and most importantly, the design developed by IoT devices. Now, this company, BSI, is the one, from what I've seen, has that thing on the plaque that they're holding, and then of course Hara standing next, or not Hara, Hagawara-san standing next to that person that presented it to him from ISMS. Now, just real quick, because I want to get, you know, Han's take on some of this. You have NeoX Tricks who pointed this out. Guys, the reason why we do this is to give you a blast from the past. He stated, I'm not going to play the whole video because it's like, I don't know, about 10 minutes. But where does this all start? It's understanding the bigger picture. And look at this. This is a great statement. Shout out to Neo. So it all began for JASMY after these moments. He says, back in late June, JASMY internationally patented and did this whole thing of being compliant with the European Union's GDPR. This statement, GDPR, is cited in the white paper. JASMY is the only, and you read that right, guys, Japanese IoT technology certified company for ISO 27001 security information for special IoT technology. It features this whole thing of a system for international data protection. But here's your aha moment. Perfectly aligns with directives discussed by Japanese authorities years ago at this event called CeBIT 2017. Now, I'm going to come back into the frame. I want us both to talk about this for a second. So, Han, I do appreciate the whole idea that you know, you're learning, you watch my material, you listen to it, heck, you're in other people's spaces and so on. I did a video recently talking about this thing of the DD coin. That DD coin, data democratization coin, is the pairing. It's basically JASMY stable coin. So to benefit society. But at the same time, when we talk about utility-driven projects, utility token, you have to have so much JASMY in order to use that darn DD coin. So to see it paired with going on a bullet train, or see it paired with going into an autonomous vehicle, or see it paired with the Japanese version of Uber or rideshares, or, you know, Lyft, or just any of this stuff, right? Uber Eats, you know, DoorDash and so on. And giving people the ability to have say over their data and monetizing it, that's a game changer. Here in the United States, we don't see it yet. Japan already sees it. You as a business owner, your thoughts, what do you see?
I see a big picture. Okay, let me rewind a little bit. Being Asian myself, and the having the somewhat share a little bit of an Asian mentality, specifically Japanese. I have a few friends that are Japanese, and in some way they're very different good, because they're very strategic in what they do, and they're also very quiet in what they do. What we see on the surface and what Max is able to find, you know, through his digging and researching, might not be all of what we know what JASMY is going to become. And for them to already getting into this trend of making something, the DD coin and the JASMY, into what we can foresee what the future might bring for JASMY, for me that's huge, and we don't even know about it. I mean, until you talk about it, who would know what the DD coin is and what does it do? And so I feel that is a big opportunity for JASMY and the foundation of what it is on in the bottom of it to have it like a almost like the wind beneath JASMY to get it to where it's supposed to be in my perception.
Yeah, I mean, when I see statements like you have to have a minimum of this amount of JASMY coins, it's not even a huge number. I should say that, the JASMY tokens, but it's like, to be old school, like Bitcoin has more pairings than any other coin out there. The other thing I showed also was with JASMY, there's so many pairings, and there's so many exchanges too, like some of the mainstream ones, whether it's Binance or Crypto.com or KuCoin or, you name it, Coinbase, et cetera, right? But pairings are always the enablers. At the end of the day, if you want to buy JASMY, you have to have something to pay for that with. Is it Tether USDT? Is it Circle USDC? Is it fiat? So when I look at Japan and understanding that they already have this thing in place about the DD coin where, look, this is great. You guys can use this to be the enabler to contribute to the society of Japan, to contribute towards education, towards, just anything, food, lodging, et cetera. But do you want to have something that's going to be a little bit different? Well, yeah. All right. There's this thing called JASMY. It'll protect your data and give you the choice of monetizing it. For me, even here in America, if somebody said to me, hey, guess what? There's this new thing that's going to disrupt Google. You know how like Google makes a ton of money? They make a ton of money off of your data. Listening to me, I kid you not, Han. You know how I do those weird Mike Tyson impersonations? I don't know if you ever see me do that. So as a result, my phone gives me nonstop Mike Tyson stuff all the time. All the time. You get what I'm saying? So it's spying on us, something fierce. It's like a 24/7 tape recorder. And the way I look at it is, I am making GAFA, Google, Amazon, Facebook, whatever one else is part of that, just consistently wealthy. And I'm just one of many people. What happens when we have the real disruptor? I think that disruptor exists obviously in Japan because they get it. They don't like this whole idea of just freely giving it away. This is why I call it the crypto night, if you will. I think most people understand that. So the next part I want to get into is a little bit about this whole thing of ISO. And the reason I want to share this with you guys is it's crucial to understand, some of these things. I mean, sometimes it goes over your head, JASMY's got this ISO certification. Who cares? Hey, look at this for a second. Let's share a little bit more about this. So you have this statement. If you guys want to follow along, you can go to optima-solutions.co.jp/voice/JASMY. It's going to ask you to interpret into, of course, English from Japanese. I would highly recommend you do it. So I'm going to full screen it for you a bit. And it says, after being established in 2016, we launched full-scale services in 2021. Okay, referring to the whole thing of what JASMY is doing. So as they mentioned above in this article, the IoT services they provide often involve data managed by client companies. With this in mind, they felt it was necessary to obtain ISMS or the P mark, which means privacy mark. Think about this. To get, if you guys want me to put this in layman's terms, again, back to Han. Han is a business owner, okay? So, you can imagine, is it okay to mention the name of your coffee company or your coffee shop?
Yeah, you can, but Max, I think that you didn't follow me, but last year in July, my father passed away, and I actually sold a business.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I know
Yeah,
that your father passed away, but I didn't know that
it
you
was
sold
7
the
years. We
business.
still can talk about it. So yeah, feel free,
Well,
go for it.
yeah, but my point I was just trying to make is, I was aware that your father passed away, and I did wish you. Sorry about that. My dad did. Why is everybody's fathers passing away lately? It's like
When you
mine
get to a
last
certain age,
December. Yeah. Well, he was 89, and how old was your dad?
he was 82.
Wow. So at least both of us our fathers made to the 80s. But
Yeah.
the thing is, you were business owners. My key thing I'm making as far as example is understanding that there's trademarks, there's copyrights, and all these things are important. But this particular one, and I'm going to show you guys this, to put it in layman's terms, privacy mark. Think about it. Here in the United States, trademarks. Over there, privacy marks. All right, that's a big deal. You know, why go through all this trouble if this thing is just a bunch of nonsense, right? So this is the guy who got it done for JASMY in regards to connecting with Hagawara-san. And it says, basically speaking, that in the recent years, the threat of cyber attacks and information leaks are obviously due to human error. And they understand that frequently you just need something that will check all this. They have this thing about, you know, ISMS and the P mark, but it says there's no penalty for not acquiring it. But in order to make business go more smoothly, you basically need the P mark. So this is a big deal in Japan, to my interpretation. And it says that we believe, as in JASMY, that the widely recognized ISMS or P mark is essential as a basis moving forward. That's awesome. You know, like, you know, even some of the restaurants we see here, I mean, how many times you guys go to some place and maybe think it's kind of sketch? Like, I don't know about this place. What is the rating? And, you know, some of the places, maybe you see a C rating. Like, I don't know if I want to eat there. You're looking for that A rating and so on. So in Japan, I imagine it's like, it's a pretty big deal. You know, JASMY is not a restaurant, but still to see that particular mark. Okay, that's crucial for understanding. We, of course, shared this as well. ANAB, ANSI, National Accreditation Board, in regards to this management system body. Jumping a little bit more into this, I'm going to take you back to another thing from Forbes. The reason why I'm going to show you this is pretty cool because it talks about ISO 27001 and why you basically need it. This is from Forbes, just in case you think it's just it's just a big deal in Japan, Max. There's, you know, nothing to see here. You know, you're just trying to make something out of nothing. But look at this statement, guys. When organizations fail to secure or protect data, this specific data exposes them to a host of business risks like breaches, financial losses, reputational damage, or even potential fines and prosecution. To overcome this challenge, the International Standard Organization, aka ISO, created a comprehensive set of guidelines called ISO/IEC 27001. And I talked about this. I did deep dives about this long before they became compliant. Now, to put in layman's terms, one more time, is understanding these standards. And in the process of doing so, it talks about how all businesses, that data is stored electronically in hard copies, even in physical copies. But back to this standard and certification, which JASMY now has, is applicable to businesses of all sizes and ensures that organizations are identifying and managing risk effectively, consistently, and basically measurably. So when we see some of these statements about confidentiality, I mean, we've been there, we've done that. Integrity. Basically, integrity means to be honest to yourself and truthful to others. But this other one that I really like here, as I go further down, is understanding that when you have a certification, like it says, that serves as a seal of approval, this shows proof to the entire world that an independent third-party certified body is routinely assessing the security posture of the business and finds it to be effective. So when we talk about the internet of trust, there's nothing scam about this. All a person needs to do, and I would encourage all of you that's new to JASMY, you see some nonsense like that, all you need to do is just to type in JASMY ISO 27001. Because at the end of the day, that is the proof that it's not a scam. You don't get this standard if you're a scam. And I know we always joke about JASMY scam. But you know what? Have these people that haven't done their research simply look it up for them. And if they're too lazy to do a simple Google search, then why talk to them anyway, right? So that's my thing. The other thing I want to jump into real quick is if you're wondering, and I do want to get Hans' take on this as well. If you're wondering how big of a deal this is, there's this company here, guys, and I'm going to come out of the screen for a second. There's this company, it's called Advent, and they're a top 10, they're part of the top 10 ISO 27001 companies, and this one stands at a pinnacle compared to everyone else. To have JASMY even in the same breath as this company called Advent is a big deal. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of background about this, and then definitely want to get Hans' take on it. So look at this. Let's share this. Let's put this on the screen as well. You have this. It says we have a proven track record. This is again in regards to Advent. In taking companies through the process and accreditation. But it says our approach differs where it's not one size fit all, right? They talk about how they have consultants that have been qualified for this. They have lead auditors. They have this whole thing of leading the path forward for like the UK. I know you don't see this, but I'll get to the next part about management systems. But even on a simple Google search, look at this for yourself, guys. You have Advent IM, and look what it says. Governance, risk, and compliance in the UK. That's even the UK. So when we mentioned the whole thing of JASMY and basically speaking being the first to be regulatory compliant, to even have them even part of that mix is a big deal. To take you over to their website, check this out for a second. Information Governance Security Consultancy. Advent IM is the UK's, and I'll full screen this. Look what it says, guys. UK's leading independent information security and physical security consultancy supporting governance, risk, and compliance. All right, a little bit more about this. Look at this for a second. You want to see how much they're worth? $10 billion. And Max only shows old research from years ago. No, estimated July 15th, just a few days ago. $10 billion with a B. So when I say that JASMY is part of this bigger deal when it comes to some of these ISO standards, again, this is huge. And look at this. You don't think Advent is a big deal? Advent went ahead and did this whole thing to buy UK payments. Think about that for a second. Firm, which is called MyPOS, and they are valued at $500 million. So I think it's absolutely crucial that we understand all this. And in closing, before I get I should say closing, just I'm gonna give you some of my own notes. At the end of the day, it's all about trust and credibility. If you're still not with me on understanding this, the reason why it's a big deal for JASMY is because ISO 27001 demonstrates JASMY's commitment to data security and also increased trust. Okay? It will give JASMY a competitive advantage. And what I mean by that is it will allow JASMY to basically be competitive over other IT companies that don't have this standard. And back to what NeoXtrix said, would we have alignment with Japanese directives? Absolutely. The fact that JASMY aligns with directives discussed by Japanese authorities all the way back in 2017 suggests that it's a well-positioned play for the role of the country's future moving forward, and especially where they're going to go for the United States and basically all over the world and so on. So I want to get some of your thoughts and concerns in regards to this, because at the end of the day, the way I look at it is it's standards. If I'm going to plug my phone in to a certain socket, that's a standard. If I'm going to take my power cord, plug it in, that's a standard. There's emission standards. There's all sorts of standards. Web3 in itself has to have a standard. Your thoughts?
My thought is the everybody that involved in JASMY is slowly but surely setting up the project for success. With all of the big partners that you found over the years and presented to the community, and they keep doing it. They keep over and over finding different partners that serve the project, that the project can be partnered with in a very solid manner, and allowing not only, and this is not, I don't see this as a popularity contest. I see this as a building foundation for JASMY that they are doing in the background.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it too. I mean, they've already done a lot of things in the background, and I think they're still doing a lot of things in the background. I think that, Panasonic is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, we have been covering that for not just me, I mean, other people, right? Jesse, KI Finance, so on, other researchers. to see that come into light, right? To finally have from speculation confirmation. And you know how many people Han said, "Oh, I don't see that on the Panasonic site." And it's like, no, you didn't do a proper search and then show proof. Like, look, boom, on the Panasonic site. So I'm stating that I think that Sony's already there, but due to NDAs, it's just going to take time for that to be officially released. But they're already at the doorstep. I mean, you don't have Kunitake Ando and Kazumasa Sato and some of these guys that are former executives, or Tadashi Morita, right? And then all of a sudden say, no, we're really not going to do anything as far as an official partnership, even indirectly speaking. It's there.
You know, as far as partnership and the team concerned, you know, I see JASMY almost like a similar spot with XRP. You know, the people that run XRP in the background and the people that run JASMY in the background and the things that they do in the background, we might not know about it, but it is happening. It's going to take place, and once it's said and done, I think a lot of us is going to be surprised. And for those who fade JASMY right now, well, too bad, so sad.
You know, shout out to my buddy Michael Cornwell. He showed me this thing a while back, and it was this guy who was getting mad at a bunch of people or something, because I think it was like back in like 2011 or 12, maybe as late as 2013. But it was like BTC was like literally, I don't know. I mean, it was so incredibly cheap, right? And then he was blaming other people for his bag of BTC going down. And it's just like, give me a break. I mean, you know, we talk about like these prices. We'll come back in the future, even, you know, 5-10 years from now, and just be shaking our head. I mean, we have to be, you know?
Yeah, and that's the, you know, what is it? Sam Wharton said that if you cannot hold an investment for 5 years, might well don't invest. And that's I find that to be very true, because a lot of credible company, you know, not like a meme coin, a credible company building take time, partnership take time, and there are a lot of things in the background that are happening that we don't even. We are not privy to know that kind of information, and the only thing that we can know is what makes sense, and see what is building through only the things that we know. And I don't know, man. People keep saying that JASMY is going to be the Japanese currency. Honestly, I don't doubt that at all.
If managing your crypto feels like solving a puzzle, it's time to switch to Decent Wallet. Say goodbye to complicated setups and hello to Decent Wallet, the hassle-free solution to your digital currency needs. With just a few taps, you can manage, track, and secure your crypto with unmatched ease. And here's the best part. Grab your Decent Wallet at a discounted price by using the referral link below. Don't miss out on making your crypto experience smoother and more secure.